Am I the a-hole for how I reacted when my fiancée picked a concert with her best friend on me while I was sick? Okay, Reddit, I need some perspective. My 32M ex-fiancée, 29F, let's call her Jenna, and all her friends are calling me a manipulative monster. I, however, think I just responded calmly and logically to a major failure in our relationship. But things got messy, so I'm asking you. Am I the a-hole? Jenna and I were together 4 years, engaged for the last 6 months. On the surface, we seemed like a great couple. I have a solid job as lead project manager and was happy to be the main provider. The apartment lease is only in my name, along with utilities, her car, our phone plan, everything. This was a joint decision because my credit and income were stronger. She worked part-time as a social media manager, mostly spending her income on herself. I believed we had a balanced, supportive partnership. Our one recurring problem, the crack in our foundation, was her male best friend, Leo, 30M. They've been close since college, and their bond is intense. He has a key to our place and is always around. If we argue, she calls him for advice before finishing with me. I calmly and respectfully talked to her about boundaries many times. Each time I was dismissed as jealous or insecure. She always said, "Leo is my family. You have to accept that." I trusted her, and that was my mistake. Last Wednesday, I caught a bad flu. 103 degrees fever, body aches, the full miserable deal. I was knocked out on the couch, barely able to move. That Friday was a big concert for a band they both love. Tickets were bought months ago. I told Jenna she should still go. I didn't want her to miss out. I just asked if she could check on me before leaving and maybe drop off some medicine afterward. A reasonable request, I thought, from the person I was supposed to marry. Around 5 p.m. Friday, I felt worse. I called her, asked if she could grab a specific fever reducer on her way home. She said no, she was already out getting ready for the concert with Leo. "Okay," I said weakly. "Can you at least fill my water glass before you go? And text me when you're heading home?" "Actually," she hesitated, "Leo and I are thinking of getting a hotel downtown after the show. It'll be late, easier than a cab." I paused. My fiancée was choosing a hotel with her male best friend over coming home to me, sick. "Jenna," I said softly, "I have a high fever. I'm alone. I need you home tonight." Then she said the words that changed everything. She sighed, annoyed. "Look, I know you're sick, but I can't let Leo down. He's been excited for months. I promised him, just one night." I waited for her to soften it, show any concern. She didn't. The choice was clear. Her priority wasn't my health or well-being. It was not letting her best friend down. A strange, cold clarity hit me. The fever, the aches faded behind it. Our relationship's core wasn't just cracked, it was missing. "I see," I said flatly. "Good," she said, relieved. "Glad you're not making a big deal. See you tomorrow," then hung up. I lay on the couch a long time, then decided I wasn't going to make a big deal. I was going to make a final deal. Fueled by adrenaline and ibuprofen, I got to work, quiet and methodical. First, I packed 3 big suitcases with everything that was mine: clothes, books, work stuff, family photos. I erased myself from the apartment. Second, I called our phone provider and suspended her line on my plan. I reported the credit card I gave her as stolen, deactivating it. I changed all shared streaming passwords. Third, I wrote a polite email to our landlord giving 30-day notice to end the lease, attached the signed form, paid last month's rent. Finally, I wrote a short note, placed it on the empty kitchen counter next to her now useless key. Took my key, left, closed the door behind me. I drove to my parents' house to crash and sleep. The note said, "Hope the show was worth it. Go be his priority." So, Reddit, am I the a-hole for how I reacted? She says I was diabolical and over the top. I say I just took her at her word. Update 1. 3 days later. Thanks to everyone confirming I'm not crazy. Many asked about fallout. It was, as expected, spectacular. I spent Saturday recovering at my parents'. My fever broke, phone was silent. I blocked Jenna's number but knew silence wouldn't last. The storm hit Sunday afternoon. Emails from Jenna started frantic. First, confused. "Where are you? Apartment's empty. Where's your stuff? My tea isn't working. Did you change the lock? Call me." Second, angry. "This isn't funny, Mike. My phone isn't working. Had to use Leo's to email. What did you do? Landlord posted lease termination on door. Fix this now." Final, panic. "Please talk. I get you're mad. Sorry for hotel. This is insane. You can't just disappear and cancel lease. I have nowhere to go. All my stuff's here. Credit card you gave declined at brunch. So embarrassing. We need to talk. Please, Mike. I messed up. I didn't reply. The weekend story came from Leo's on-again, off-again girlfriend, Sarah. She found me on social media that said she saw my Reddit post spreading around and called me her new hero. According to Sarah, Leo told her he was going on a guy's weekend out of town. She only found out he was at a concert with my fiancé by their Instagram posts. This was a pattern. He used other women for entertainment and a place to stay while on break from her. She said their triumphant return Sunday to my apartment was a disaster. They found my note. Reality hit. Jenna's phone was dead, Wi-Fi password changed, streaming logged out. The apartment was empty of her belongings in a home no longer hers. Their romantic weekend turned into a screaming argument. She blamed him for pushing her to stay at hotel. He, realizing the apartment was lost interest in being her supportive best friend. Sarah said he packed and left her alone in the empty apartment, telling her to clean up her mess. So my fiancé, who wouldn't come home to a sick partner, was now alone in a home she was being evicted from, with no phone, money, or best friend. Her priority abandoned her as she abandoned me. Update 2. 1 month later. The last month was logistics for my freedom. Jenna's legal and financial fallout has been slow and painful, from what I hear. My sharp lawyer handled everything. We sent Jenna a formal letter via process server, a blunt accounting of our breakup. It said I'd vacated and ended the lease, legally, right. Included a detailed list of furniture and major assets I bought with receipts. The letter gave her 2 choices: buy items at fair depreciated value or have them moved out on lease end. It also included a final bill for her share of last month's expenses, including concert tickets I paid for and her part of utilities. Her lawyer responded with a desperate, rambling email from an out-of-depth guy. He claimed she was entitled to half the assets as common-law partner and accused me of maliciously making her homeless. My lawyer's reply, I hear, was a masterpiece. She pointed out our state's strict common-law marriage rules we didn't meet. She framed my actions as logical consequences of Jenna's own stated priorities. The letter had my sworn affidavit detailing that Friday's events and her exact words, "I can't let Leo down." It ended saying if Jenna took it to court, we'd subpoena Leo to testify under oath about their relationship and hotel stay. Her lawyer went silent after that. Legally defeated, Jenna faced her new reality. She couldn't afford furniture or apartment. She spent last week's living on an air mattress in an empty room surrounded by boxes. Move-out day was quiet. I was there with movers and neutral supervisor. Jenna was a ghost. No fight or arrogance, just silent watching as her taken-for-granted life was packed away. She didn't speak or look at me. As movers took the last piece, our bed, she whispered hoarsely, "Was it really just about the concert?" I looked at this stranger she'd become. "No," I said. "It was never about the concert. It was about a fever, about a choice. You made yours. I made mine." Final update. 6 months since I left that apartment and started a better life. The chaos faded, replaced by quiet purpose. Jenna's consequences came not from me, but from real-world logic. After being forced out, Jenna's life spiraled. No home, no money, shattered reputation, she moved back with her parents. The glamorous city life built on me was gone. Her friendship with Leo, the one she couldn't let down, ended. He wanted a fun, no-strings partner, not a broke woman in her childhood room. He got what he wanted and moved on. Her parents aren't happy. They support her but force her to take responsibility for the first time. She got a full-time job to pay debts, including my final bill. She lives with consequences she never grasped before. As for me, I've never been better. First thing I did after moving out was take a solo vacation. 2 weeks in the mountains, hiking and clearing my head, finding myself again. I sold most old apartment furniture, tainted with bad memories. I used the money for a down payment on a small house of my own, with a yard and workshop for projects, a foundation fully mine. I focus on work and my business thrives. The peace in life made me a better, more focused leader. I haven't started dating yet. I'm taking time to rebuild trust in my own judgment. I'm not lonely, just content. Jenna's choice that night was simple. She picked a concert over commitment, a friend over a fiancé, fun over lifetime loyalty. She thought it was a small choice one night, but it was the final test on an already weak structure, causing total collapse. I didn't seek revenge. I just left and let it fall. I've never been more grateful for my judgment. So Reddit, am I the a-hole?